Okay, welcome to the stream, I guess. Today is the final day of the ABC tournaments, and I'll be very possibly streaming the two matches right here in the lower bracket finals and the grand finals today, which will happen in an hour or so. I have not prepared anything else today because I was way too busy. Regardless, we'll be streaming. We'll be watching two teams tonight. Right now, PGMT and Top 9, as we can see on left and right hand side. We should be soon to be ready. As far as is concerned. Yeah, we should be ready soon, as far as the teams are concerned. I also updated it. Well, updated scoreboard as well. So we're just currently waiting for the teams to ready up so we can get the match start. This is a best of 7. Maps will be Hellas, Winter Malanovka, Fort Despair, and Mayan Ruins. That means the first team to 4 points will win the matchup, and we'll go on to face Nuggies. Nuggies are we'll face Nuggies in the grand finals. So I hope they're ready soon, as we'll hop into the first map pretty soon. So yeah, we should be ready pretty soon. As the seventh player of top 9, I believe so, just came in the training room. So yeah, just wait for them to ready up, and then it should be yeah, we should be on our way onto our first map, Hellas. Oh well, this is not ready yet. There we go, finally. That took them quite a while. But here we go, this is the lower bracket finals. Losers would be taking third place, winners would be going to grand finals. So, at first glance, it seems like PGMT wants to take matters onto Seaside, while Cats, well, Cat seems like they want to take matters into AB side. Doesn't seem like PGMT is ready for, is not ready for this sort of big push. Vickers race trying to scramble for positioning. But yeah, Cats already got quite a good chunk of map control before PGMT started capping C at all, and they also started capping B. So Cats would definitely have the cap point advantage, regardless of whatever PGMT does from here on in. It will be what PGMT does after getting one cap. Then that will decide what Cats, well, what PGMT would be playing with. So I believe Cats would have like probably 80 or 90 cap lead by the time PGMT cap C, or actually even more if that reset comes in once again. Yep, for 95 cap lead. And they also got to get B, so that the advantage got double very soon. As you can see, the Crown Dragons of Cats are actually very set up right here. Ready for any pushes from PGMT. PGMT is currently just chilling, but they can't chill for long because the cap points is ticking very fast in Cat's favor. They will need to think of some sort of push, but Cats is actually very, very heavy, and they're actually pretty ready for any push that PGMT can throw in their way. So it really matters when PGMT has to move quick if they really want to make a push that happens. So yeah, it'll take them quite some effort to figure out which side is easier to push. Even though almost all tanks of Cats are being spotted, it doesn't seem like PGMT knows what they're trying to do just yet. They're still pretty chilled at the back. Now points are taking around 700. They are actually gifting the win to Cats. It doesn't look like. I actually feels like they're trying to do that, as they're not moving, not even a single inch. Their E5 are starting to move a bit, but it doesn't seem like they're postured for any big push towards Cat spawn or their own spawn. Not neither. So the cap point is still taking in favor of Cats, and I believe this is way too late to make a move by now. Cats should really now have the win, since I believe there's no way you can really make a game work pushing this late. Oh, but we'll see. The EVAPs are slowly pushing into Krangs, but by now the caps are 900 in favor of Cats. T22 doesn't seem like he want their T5 to push in as well. It's just a mess right now. Like it took them way too long to make the push, and right now is the point where if they lose the Vickers, they lose. Well, they lost the eyes for a lose anyway. It took them way too long. They should have moved way earlier than that. Probably when there's 600 or 700 points, not like 800, 900 points. It's just asking to throw away the game. So that was an unfortunate throw from PGMT. But Cats now gets 1 point over PGMT, 0 points. And there's really not much you can talk about that game other than PGMT dropping the ball by not even doing much at the beginning. They haven't done much until the cap point was way too late to be pulled back in their favor. And basically what that meant was one tank losing, one tank out of the game from PGMT meant Cats win. So, you know. But we'll switch spawns and we'll go back into Hellas again and see which team can well, let's see PGMT. If PGMT can fix their own issues from last round. It's just that decision making was way too slow to be any use to the push. So yeah. So this seems like PGMT is now changing up their tactics a bit. They're bringing 5 E5s and 2 Kravagans. Would that fix their issue of slow reaction? Maybe? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see as we go back into Hellas once again. This time it seems like PGMT is posturing for a very quick push onto AB, while Cats is actually doing something similar as they did last round. So they basically are just pushing B, but with a slightly lighter setup than what PGMT is about to do right now. PGM is now choo-choo training all the way into the river. They got one Crown Wagon still up there, but it seems like their goal is just to try to catch as many tanks as possible. Like at least catch them off guard as possible. But it doesn't seem like they're even pushing properly, so the Crown Wagon's gonna lose quite a bit of health without them doing much to begin with. So yeah, the hit point advantage is now already firmly in the favor. It's still actually in favor of PGMT, but the tank favor might actually go into Cats very soon if PGMT lost the tank, just like that. And also hit point advantage is now in the favor of Cats. I'm not sure how I can describe this anymore, as PGMT is now perfectly trapped into these two channels, and they are not even doing any damage to Cats at all. Or are they actually trying though? Like, they're not even shooting the same target, so it's hard to imagine this actually a lower bracket finals match. By the way, PGMT is now being slaughtered with 5k hit points in the favor of Cats, and this advantage is actually getting bigger and bigger, and there's really no way PGMT is gonna win this with such well speed of dropping tanks. So yeah, it's a massacre right now. It's definitely a massacre right now. It's 1 versus 6 with a 7k hit point disadvantage. 1 versus 5 with 7k hit point disadvantage. There's really no way he can win that. So yeah. It's Cats 2-0 for now. And again, there's really not much you can tell about that game other than there's actively PGMT giving up a lot of disadvantages, like giving a lot of grounds, a lot of advantage to Cats to play with. And it's really hard to imagine they're playing it like this because they had the correct idea in the first game, but it was down to the timing of execution. But this time it seems like they're not even. They didn't even try to protect that Crown Wagon, or at least try to cover that Crown Wagon that was capping A. It basically left him out in the open, not even having him covered properly. So, like, they didn't even get any caps Like Cats didn't even want to get caps. All they were just to farm the Crown Wagon that was capping A. And PGMT didn't even respond to that properly. So, like, this game really was really decided from the start. I would say 20 seconds when Lost Keys basically got dropped for free. Cats, PGMT didn't even hurt Cats, like not even, like the first tank down for PGMT. It only cost Cats 3 shots worth of hit points. So it's like, you know, you basically trading. It's very bad trades from from PGMT. Regardless, we're going into Winter Mountain Offcut. This it's currently 2-0 for Cats. And it seems like PGMT is now changing up the lineup once again, and Cats is bringing double 183. Oh my god. So PGMT seems like they want to play A side towards A side, while Cats is already getting big shots into Crown Wagon. And then we have to see how this 183s and 405s. Let's give it a good look. Let's give it a good look, because I'm curious how Cats is going to use these 183s and 405s, as they're really slow tank. No, not really slow tank, but they're really tanks are really hard to position. Mainly because they're pretty big and they're really easily spotted. But it seems like PGMT is giving any attempt to try to lead up these tanks right here. So Cats is now getting C, 0 contest. But PGMT is not even getting A to begin with. Now they're getting A, but the cap point's already in favor of Cats. They're not capping A just yet. I wonder what happened in the end that prompted them to stop capping A. They're pushing for E5 and E5 got deleted, so that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for Cats not cover that tank when they know that they got one tank at A. So it's now basically just 4, 5, and 3 183s just being there. You're sort of, you know, covering that flank. And it's not really, and that's where you shouldn't be picking to 183s and 405s, because it's really, well, you can't really rely on 3 TDs like that to hold a flank like this, because they would lose onto these like minor trades in the end. So they're now low on hit points, and with the addition of mouses basically meant that they losing map control by the second, and it seems pretty obvious, like, at this point, even though PGMT only has like just that slight advantage in tank number, they're actually winning quite a lot in terms of mobility. As a matter of whether they're actually using it correctly or not. Seems like Hermes and the T-25 team want to make a difference in this match. He's now trying to push onto the IS-4 at C-cap, but doing so made him very, very vulnerable into being shot at. So he's now a one-shot. Very soon that he will be taken out by the IS-4. Bishop Beast now. Wow, that low row. Either way, his stay is actually numbered, and he goes down right there. And now PGMT is now actually capping a C. So yeah, the lack of mobility of Cats really hurt them this round, as their mouse not even getting the support they deserve. So right now it's basically the mouse getting deleted on Cat's side, while the T's and Cats are not really, well, not effective at all. So as much as you would expect 183s to make big booms at early games, they didn't really do that much at the early games as well. So taking these tanks really meant that PGMT got free pass basically most of the map, because they weren't able to get the shots in effectively at start. So it's now 1 versus 7, 9 hit points in the advantage of PGMT, and this round is going to go in PGMT's favor. So it's now 2-1 in the still in favor of Cats, but the scores have evened up just that little bit of PGMT's heroics and Cats poor decision in picking the lineup. It seems like they want to continue this poor decision making, which I'll point out loud and clear. But you shouldn't really be picking into 180 phase if you don't have the mobilities to begin with. And it seems like PGMTs are readied up in their lineup. It's okay. They dropped the 180 phase. That's a good thing. Slightly better, but if they can't fix if Cats can't fix their mouse being dropped like that, I believe the results just gonna be the same. Like you can't really have your important tanks being dropped like that. So yeah, regardless, it'll be up to Cats to try and make a difference in this round. The Silent PGMT is not going for A cap. But Cats is going for full BC cap execute. That could see them in the advantage of getting C side very easily. As they have a slight tank advantage at this side. But it doesn't seem like they wanted to use this advantage just yet, as their T-22 rotates out. And yeah, things are playing out pretty slow, with the exception of 2 mouse already pushing up onto B. So right now, PGMT doesn't look like they have the ability to stop B from getting into Cat's hands. So the kind of advantage will go into Cat's favor very soon. Even though PGMT still have all their health point intact for the time being. The double T-20 is going to be proven to be a slight problem for Cats, as they are actually in pretty key positioning at this situation, where they can't really be flushed out unless the T-22 from Cats can be aggressive at this side. You know, even it will be down to some very unique heroics from T-22 to be able to take care of the double T-22s from Cat PGMT. But at this stage, Cats don't need to do much because they got 2 caps as opposed to a PGMT 0, and their points are now finally evened up slightly a tiny bit. But Cats is still in the disadvantage when it comes to hit points. So PGMT, all they need to do is try to get A, try to do something on top of that, and not lose hit points, which one of them just did. Seaside's still a stalemate as of now. Doesn't seem like there's much happening for now. But PGMT now got A cap. It's gonna be a 200 cap lead in favor of Cats. I don't know why PGMT took that long to get A, but like there's really not much you should be worried at that stage where you know the entire enemy team is going for a C setup and B setup early game. You should be able to get A pretty easily. But now I-line in the mouse is now getting bled, and well, I'm slightly speechless right now because I don't get how a mouse will get caught after getting B for almost 200 cap points. That's a really long time. You should really have been at least rotated halfway out, if not full way out, because there's no way that one T-22 is gonna be able to hold off 2 T-22s unless PGMT is making some unique plays that nobody can comprehend. It does seem like that Hermes is gonna get 1 tank for free, virtually for free. He's actually getting it for free. So right now, with this unique heroics, Cats is actually winning this 1 versus 2 medium flight right here. Even though they lost I-line in the mouse, this should be even out towards Cat's favor, as Cats now has no Cats is still at 1 mobility tank, while PGMT has no mobility tanks, and they are playing very passive in their heavy side. And it's all down to individual heroics of the T22. But now PGMT got all 3 caps, so the cap tech is gonna go very quick in PGMT's favor. So there's really no time for Cat to sit back and enjoy their mobility advantage, because now PGMT got 3 caps when the mobility's got cap 1, so it's gotta be 2 caps in favor of PGMT. But it's still gonna mean that Cat's gonna make some sort of move. Otherwise, PGMT's gonna win this round, and tying up to 2-2. And it seems like Cats is now making a heavy push onto the B cap. And it doesn't seem like PGMT is sort of ready for it just yet. So PGMT's gonna lose the mouse. But hopefully the response is gonna be fast enough that hopefully that will even out the disadvantage that arises from losing the mouse. Which should be, yep. So even out the Crown Wagon, but they're losing B cap as well. They also gonna lose the E5 very soon if T22 is able to get him for free. It does seem like that's the case as well. T22 is now carrying the entire Cats team on his back. With Cats still dropping tanks left, right, and center. It's all down to this T22 trying to bring home the win. Well, it doesn't seem like it, because PGMT now got 1,000 cap points. So now PGMT tied up 2-2. Despite the heroics of the T22 of Hermes, it doesn't seem like Cat is able to overcome that huge disadvantage of letting 3 cats slip. But yeah, it's back and forth stuff. First, is losing 200 cap points at start, even though you got more mobility, and then somehow miraculously burning out a mouse virtually for free, and then with some individual heroics of the 1 T22 bouncing all shots, able to take down basically a 1 vs 2 fight in T22. It's a box of surprises today, to see how these teams are bringing out their skill today. So it's now 2-2 tied, and we're now going into the next map for Despair. Doesn't seem like Cats is gonna stray away from their mouse plays anytime soon, but I hope I will see them bleeding a lot less this time around, as that was the reason how they lost a mouse for free. But yeah. We're now going into our 5th round. Cats bring triple Crown Wagons as opposed to 2 of PGMT, 2 mouse each. Cats bring an E3 with PGMT bringing 2 IS4 instead and 1 E5, and then Cats bring also a VK90 as opposed to none in PGMT side. PGMT seems like they want to play for an AB standard play very early on. Seems like the same thing is gonna happen from Cat's side, with the exception of the mouse actually probably going for C side, as opposed to the PGMT's B side. So the cap advantage might actually go into Cat's favor, as these mouses should be able to cap C without any interference of PGMT. Though the contest, in terms of beginning the corner, PMG's gonna get the corner fairly painlessly, as there's only 1 E3 watching. So they trade some cap for some map control, and it doesn't seem like PGMT is in any hurry to get B or A because of the E3 overlooking. He's actually in a very strong spot, overlooking both caps if he wishes to. So it'll take into some individual heroics of PGMT to be able to still be under Cat's nose. Either way, Cat is already warping around with double mouse flanking, and it doesn't seem like PGMT is even ready for it at all. So PGMT is now trying to scramble into B cap, but not realizing, but you should realize that now they're pretty surrounded at this stage, and they're not trying to push onto e3 head-on. So it's not really an ideal situation for PGMT at all. And it doesn't seem like PGMT is able to take down the e3 very effectively either. So I believe PGMT is gonna be hurt very heavily before the e3 is gonna be taking down. So it's gonna be one tank to one trade, but that would be more than he bargained for, because he also took down a big hit into the IS-4 as well as slowing them down for a few more seconds. As you can reflect that on hit points, Cats now has a 2k hit point advantage, and also 2 kill advantage as opposed to 1 kill from PGMT. It's gonna be down to some individual works from PGMT in order to turn this around. As Lost Keys on the Crown Wagon is now in a 1 vs 3 situation. They've sort of pulled back the hit points slightly bit into 1.5k mark, 1.5k difference, but still the disadvantage is still there for PGMT, and it's not gonna get any better if they gotta be trading equal blows at this rate. So it's gonna be 2-4 trade, and it doesn't seem like Cats is in any hurry to drop any tank right now. So this round is likely to go into Cats. They're gonna go for Cats, and it's gonna be match point for Cats if things stay as it is. It's 2 vs 5, 1 vs 5, and yeah, it's pretty much confirmed that this is gonna be a match, third round for Cats, and it's gonna be match point. Yep, that's confirmed. So yeah, it's now match point for Cats. And yeah, like, it was really quick wrap from Cats Mouses. And PGMT was forced to make a move that they really didn't want to make, as they didn't really actually they weren't prepared for the push at all. It doesn't seem like that was the case. So Cats seemed like they want to pull the same thing once again with a similar lineup, but this time with Grill 15 as opposed to an E3. But PGMT really needs to revise the playbook, because it doesn't seem like they're fully ready of what Cats is gonna do in this map. But yeah. Yeah, so like it seemed like PGMT wants to do the same thing once again with an AB setup. Maybe they this time gotta bring one Crown Wagon onto C side, but it seemed like it's gonna stop Cats from doing the same thing once again. This time they're not even putting anything into A side. It's just them going full BC mode. Oh, this seemed like they want to push Grill 15 onto the boost spot. So yeah, so they're now pushing the Grill 15 into unpatched boost spot, and as we can see, Grill successfully got pushed over and will be ready to rain down death from the top of the mountain. Meanwhile, while this is happening, PGMT doesn't seem like they're taking a lot of map advantage. Well, they took quite a bit of map advantage, but it shouldn't be enough to deter the grill from shooting them. But they might actually get one tank advantage before Cats are able to respond at all, since IS-4 is actually caught in a very bad position right there, and they also get A for free. So this is sort of a miscalculation for Cat's side, as they were actually losing one tank. They lose quite a lot of map advantage. It doesn't seem like the grill is prepared to do much either. So at this stage, PGMT is gonna be rolling in. It's gonna be ringing death, but it seems like it's gonna be a bit too late. Well, actually, PGMT now actually has a hit point disadvantage. It seems like we missed some hit point dropping from PGMT side, but either way, PGMT is now getting very low at this stage. So how they bled so much? I don't think that this is actually how it's meant to be, bleeding this much from PGMT side. Yeah, they're actually still losing tanks. It's now 4k hit point advantage in favor of Cats. This is... I don't know why, but it's happening. So... the hit points from PGMT is not being evaporated. It doesn't seem like PGMT's focus fire are doing anything at all, as it's still causing an even tank trade. The grill is still raining death and destruction. It seems like Cash just realized, PGMT's realized it now, but it's way too late. Doesn't seem like they realized anything until it's very late, and it just really, at this point, it's Cat's round to lose. So Cats, yeah, 4-2. They advance to the next stage. Congratulations to Cats for winning into 4-2. But yeah, so the finals will be seeing Nuggies for me versus top 9, which is Cats versus E7. The match will start 8 o'clock, which should be happening in 15 minutes. So yeah, I'll be taking a small rest. Not sure about you guys, but I will be back in 15 minutes to watch the grand finals unfold. Okay. We should be in the grand finals very, very soon. The grand finals will be best of. The grand finals will be best of 9. Uh, the maps are Yukon, Normandy, New Bay, Normandy, Vineyard, and Castilla. As we can see. So the first team to 5 points will be winning the round, winning the matchup. So now just waiting both teams to have all the members inside the room, and then we'll probably go in and have the first round in Yukon. So still waiting for the last players from either teams to come. I'm not sure whether... Yeah, we're waiting for the teams already up. And so after that, we'll start the round. Okay, so we're now jumping into our first round in Yukon. So yeah. E7's gonna bring double crown wagons, one mouse, double E5, one T22, one 140, and Cat's gonna bring double mouse, triple IS4, and two medium, two T22s. So it does seem like E7 is now playing more towards C and A, while Cats is playing more, actually also playing towards A as well. So both teams gonna meet very very shortly, but Cats will actually get a B cap earlier than HR in E7 getting C cap. And it doesn't seem like Cats is investing anything in the corners, so the E5s of E7 is actually be safe for now. There's gonna be a small exchange of fire around in the middle area, and it's confirmed that Cats is actually getting a slight cap advantage of 3 cap points. It's just really slightly cap advantage, so it's not gonna be a big deal as for now. And it seems like E5 and E7 is now gonna step into A, and that should bring the cap point advantage in E7's favor very shortly. Cat seems like they want to push double mouse very aggressively into C cap, but it seems like they still haven't made the decision just yet. So right now they're bleeding a slightly bit, but Cat is still having a huge point advantage because not sure why though, but they're now having quite a bit of point advantage for now, but they're losing cap points. The cap points are now in the favor of E7. Now E7 is pushing this side, the T22 is rotating out. Seems like E7 is finding the correct timing to push in, just when the T22 rotate out. So right now, the IS4s from Cats is going to be in a pretty tough situation of getting crossfire from multiple sides if they wish to sit like this. Obviously, this IS4 is going to be pretty safe, not if we keep poking at her. Either way, the situation is pretty much in the favor of Cats of E7. If you just look at the cap points, but it seems like Cats wants to sort of make an initiative in this side and try to take down Crown Wagon in order to claim the C cap. And it seems like it's sort of like the alright idea, good idea to do so as well, since the double mouse are here and the T22s are here. The Crown Wagon seems to be pretty alone in the stage, so if Cats make their move right now, I think, okay, e7 just rotated in. So if cats made that decision a bit earlier, they might actually get that crown very painlessly, because that crown wouldn't have any support whatsoever. So it's gonna be a 1 versus 2 right here for a brief moment, as e7 is looking to take their first tank advantage before e7 is gonna take down one tank. Doesn't seem like it, so it's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade in the favor of cats. So right now, it's gonna be 2-to-1 trade in favor of cats. Crown Wagon from e7 is gonna go down very soon, and cat is also capping C as well. So hit point, cap point, and tank number advantage is gonna be in the favor of cats very soon. However, the scores are even out slightly bit, but that shouldn't matter at this stage. At hit point advantage is now at 5k in the favor of cats. So now only 140 left. Well, it seems like there's no way he's gonna be able to turn the tables for e7 in e7's favor. So that means that he will go down, and that'll be 1-0 for cats in the first round of Yukon. So looking at this, it seems like e7 had the first hand advantage, as they were able to sort of strike first and sort of catch cats off guard. Well, not catch them off guard, but at least take the advantage in their favor of two tanks, well with two caps. But okay, no. Alright then. If it doesn't work, then we will not do that. So it's currently 1-0 in favor of top 9, which is cats. So now go back to Yukon once again. This time Swan swapped, and yeah. So we'll see how e7 is gonna deal with the issues they had in the last round, because it seems like they were in firm control until the fight in the T22 unfolded, and also the crown being exploited for being alone. These are the two main things they have to address if they really want to try to turn the tables a bit. But other than that, I feel like they've been. I feel like cats, even though they have the right idea, they're sort of slow in execution. That gave slight hope for e7, but that didn't last long, as even e7 wasn't in a good position to begin with. So going back to Yukon once again. This time similar lineups for both teams. But it seems like, but this time e7 brings TVP in without T22s at all. So it'll be double TVPs as opposed to double T22s of cat's side. E7's gonna get B cap first before cat's gonna get into C cap. So the cap advantage is gonna go into E7's favor. E7, the cat T22s are gonna push into D cap. Doesn't seem like e7 is ready to reset it, so they're gonna be getting A in the meantime. So cap point late, it's gonna be neck and neck, and it's gonna be a very small gap. Probably in the favor of cats, or it's gonna be in the slight favor of cats. And Cat just seems to be very strongly postured to defend any push that E7 is going to throw in their way. They didn't put any tanks in their spawn until T20s rotate back. So it's going to be really low chance of Cat's going to be caught out of anything. It seems like it's only want to press the issue in the middle. It seems like they also want to sort of take some area out of E7's map control. So right now E7 is slowly spreading thin. It seems like they want to take back D control as not sure they realize whether Cat's T22s are out or not, but it seems like they're ready to take that map control away from Cats as they see. So right now, E7 is still maintaining sort of very strong map control around here, as they slowly actually started to bleed E7 Cats E5s. Though the hit point advantage is still in the favor of Cats. This is not going to really last very long, as Cats is now also capping A, so it's going to be trading caps, and the cap point is still going to be in favor of Cats if this continues. And the hit point is slowly also in favor of Cats as well, so it's going to be still up to E7 to make a move. But right now, Cats is really stacked up right here. So E7 might actually be able to take advantage of this by pushing onto the surround these 5 tanks immediately, as the T22s are still around A cap trying to take map control for the team. If they shrink back into the main team, this will actually give E7 a lot of map control in one go. It just all depends on how E7 is going to take advantage of this stack from Cats, and if they do it correctly, it's going to sort of give E7 the advantage despite their hit point disadvantage. So now E7 might actually E7 is stepping into C cap, A cap, not C cap. They got them to A cap, and this is gonna bring the cap point advantage back to E7. Though we see the T22s from Cats, it's gonna rotate back to D once again. So this might actually be meaning that they're gonna take D cap once again. But the cap point advantage is going to be firmly in the favor of E7 this time around. So the map control is being constantly traded back and forth, though the hit point advantage is also now firmly in the favor of E7. Well, not very firmly, but it's on 700. So that's going to be down to the wire as to which team's going to be keeping their tanks alive longer, and also if E7 they'll be able to hold on to B cap, because that seems like that'll be what the sequence is going to be contesting into B cap. It seems like also E7 is going to be slightly surrounded in terms of the mobility side, so Cat's gonna have the luxury of deciding which side they're gonna be having, which side they're gonna surround the enemies with. So it seems like Cats is gonna be sticking to this fight, and E7 is gonna be playing into this fight right here. Doesn't seem like the hit point's gonna be in favor of Cat anytime soon, as T2 gets deleted. And he's still determined to step into C cap, into B cap, but the trades now is gonna be very even. It all down to whether T2 is gonna be taken down very soon or not, because the cap point is now it's gonna be in favor of Cats. And yeah, Cats take down one more tank, and Cat's gonna take the second round as well. So it's gonna be 2-0 in the favor of E7. So we'll be moving to New Bay, but before that, let's see if we can get the instant replays working. So yeah, the mediums from E7 actually took a lot of hit points early on, and I feel that's sort of what sealed their fate, because that means in the late game, these two T22s were able to go in very aggressively, without really being punished quick enough, because that would have meant the TPPs rotate all the way out and give up sort of a lot of map control before the T20s were punished. So yeah, like that really meant that sort of sealed half of the fate for e7 because that meant X-Gamma went down and Cats had that one tang lead, and yeah, like a lot of things really held down in the medium's flank. As we can see, E7 weren't able to hold on to the advantage of having multiple tanks being in pretty low compared to Cats. So yeah, it's unfortunate how E7 lost that round, as they were close to having it, but it was really there's a few seconds worth of difference that made it. It's really just a few seconds that made a difference as to who won that round. So we'll be entering new base shortly, and it's gonna be 2-0 in the favor of Cats. So this is gonna be best of 9. First team to 5 points is gonna win. So it all depends on what E7 is gonna be able to respond in new base. But as of now, it seems like the medium fights, it's not going in the favor of E7 at all. So that's gonna have to be fixed one way or another, because if E7 aren't able to take those mediums fight comfortably, it seems that Cat is fully ready for any medium fights in their way. And even from the last 2 rounds, we see Cats actually have the advantage for both of the medium fights. So now it's already all down to E7 whether they're able to fix the medium fights, because it seems like that's gonna be their biggest issue from this point for the last 2 rounds, and might actually be their issue as well for the remainder of the entire game. So E7 is doing a very aggressive push towards mid. Doesn't seem like Cats is ready. Doesn't have any tank right there to receive the push at all. So E7 is gonna slow down quite a bit in the early stages of the game. So even though Cats doesn't seem like they have the information of what E7 is gonna be doing. It's only 7 rulers being spotted and nuggies. But I believe Cats have a good idea of what E7 is gonna do as well. Even though they can't see most of the tank, as they're already taking the bridge and didn't see any tank other than 7 ruler. So Cats gonna take the slight cap lead as they get C earlier than E7 getting B, and E7 didn't get A while they're and that side of the map. So Cats is gonna have luxury, as they have one E100 one mouse sitting right there watching anything that is gonna be crossing. So yeah. Oh, they actually missed on Victor's crossing. So that will actually be proving very, very important for E7, because that meant, yeah, he likely not gonna be punished unless Hermes is gonna poke up like that. So it's still than that, but that wouldn't be proven to be much issue for Cats for the time being. So though Cats might actually be able to take advantage of this, because that meant the Vickers are not going to be able to escape any easily, because if he escapes, that's going to mean that he's got to go into the line of fire of these 2 heavy tanks, and that means he's going to take, well, 1k hit points for basically free. So this is going to be down to how Cats want to play this. If they want to push in the issue, X-Gamma and the Vickers are going to be in quite a bit of an issue, as he's going to be stuck right here. He's got to be spotted whenever he wants to. Yep, he's got to take 600. So if he crosses right now back to B cap, he's going to get deleted without question. And if Hermes is going to push the issue here, as to gain back some view range, Vicker's basically locked down here and he can't escape at all. Though Asfo's going to be in here trying to get the C cap, try even out the cap advantage a bit into their own favor. And then it seems like Cats is ready for it. Well, Ireland's gonna be ready to push the issue a bit, and E7 is actually gonna drop quite a bit of hit points while doing it. So all depends on how both teams is gonna handle this situation. It seems like ISO is gonna get dropped very soon, so that's gonna be a huge advantage going into Cats' favor. And yeah, it does seem like it's, E7 is not gonna be able to respond to this just yet. And now they only now they push in. It's gonna be a bit too late, as the Vickers gonna be taking more hit points off, and the medium fight once again is gonna go down into Cat's favor. It doesn't seem like the Vickers gonna be able to fight T22 being this wounded. So at this stage, the fight is gonna be very tough. E7, they want to pull it back. So yeah, I do believe this is gonna be 3-0 for Cats. As it doesn't seem like E7 are able to secure much of the advantage on their own without tripping over themselves. And even now, they still haven't killed one single tank just yet. Only now they've killed one tank, so it's gonna be very 6. Way too much of a disadvantage in Cats in E7's side, and it doesn't seem like they're able to respond to these disadvantage quick enough. So this round is gonna be likely going to Cat's favor. Alex goes down, so it's gonna be 2 versus 5 right now. There's only 1 mouse left against 5 tanks, but it doesn't seem like E7's gonna really. It doesn't seem like E7 still have no response to what Cats are doing. So Cats is now firmly in the lead. 3-0. So we'll switch bonds in New Bay and go back in once again. Again, it's E7 dropping the medium fight, and then soon as that happens, things start falling in dominoes. As they lose more and more of their resources, and giving more and more advantage in Cat's favor. So the moment E7 is still losing these medium fights, I wouldn't be able to see a future where E7 is gonna win most of these games if the mediums are still losing the fights here and there. So yeah, they need to step up and try and not lose these fights like that. And there's really not much they can do to prevent that from happening, other than try to not take engagement too early. But we have to see. We have to see how they play, because this is going to Cat's favor very firmly, as we see Cats using similar lineups over and over and having pretty high success. It all downs to whether this 4 Crown Wagon play from E7 is gonna work out or not. If this does not work out, it's gonna be 4-0 in the favor of Cats, and Cats is gonna be having 4 match points. Is it 4? Yeah, I think 5 match points if that happens. E7 just barely spotted the crossing of Cats. So Cats is gonna be able to disturb the T22s as they are about to run. But it doesn't seem like they're gonna be taking a lot of hits. Gonna be taking 2 hits. That's gonna be a pretty nice scenario, even though they didn't have the C cap. So Cats is actually gonna get C for free. So it's gonna be 2 caps to 0 caps in the favor of Cats. So E7 is gonna be having to come up with solutions to problems once again, as they're in a passive position of having to fight back in the cap disadvantage situation. Doesn't seem like they're getting A, but the cap point is gonna be very huge in the favor of Cats, and it's only gonna get bigger as Cats is set up to defend any push, and doesn't seem like E7's lineup is pimped out for any push to be pushing into anything like here. So yeah, I would say E7's in a bit of a sticky situation, as they're actually in none of the advantage, not even hit points to begin with. So that means this is gonna be a very tough fight in front of them if they really want to push in this situation. So hit points is cap points now 500 in the favor of Cats. G7 will have to do something really soon. They can't wait until 800, 700, 800 and repeat what PGMT did. So the next 30 or 40 seconds is really when E7 really have to push in. Otherwise, they will lose the game without even contesting it in the first place. So it's almost 700 cap points. If E7 doesn't make any move by then, I will be firmly saying that this game could be in Cat's back very easily. It seems like they're posturing for a push, but it doesn't seem like they're ready to push. They're pushing it just yet. So finally they're pushing, but I feel like it's a bit late, and doesn't feel like they're able to get C cap relatively easily as well. So this might actually be Cat's game if the push doesn't work out for E7 in the next 20 seconds. So E7 already triggered a counter response from Cats as Cats mouse is pushing towards the side of E7. The hit points are slightly in favor of E7, but doesn't seem like they are having the correct. Well, they're having the good spots. They have one tank advantage. They have now slightly hit point advantage, but now all the Crown Dragons are now in a reload. So it's time for E7. It's gonna be time for Cat to strike back, and doesn't seem like E7's mediums are in any spot to counter this push, because they're not just arrived, but hit point advantage is gonna go back to Cat's favor if E7's mediums don't do anything useful right now. As E7's Crown Dragons are getting dropped one by one. 2 Crown Dragons are getting dropped, as opposed to 3 tanks of Cats getting dropped. So tank advantage is still in E7's favor, but it's neck and neck at this stage. As Cat is still holding the cap point advantage, and E7 needs to get some caps. Otherwise, this fight might actually end up in in Cat's favor at this stage. The medium is once again it's gonna lose the fight. Here, he's gonna survive with a slither of hit point, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna be able to contribute to the remaining of the fight, as Hermes takes him down. Hermes also goes down, so it's gonna be 3 versus 2 in the favor of E7. So this might actually be E7's game. So even though they started the push pretty late, they were able to take advantage of Cat's slow response. Cats were actually not really responding to what E7 were doing. They were pretty slow in the response, so that gave E7 the window of opportunity to go back into the game. And it seems that that's all they need. It's really just one slip response, and that's all they need to pull the game back into their own favor. So yeah, nicely done by E7. Even though Cats actually had the advantage for the majority of that game, they weren't able to respond. They weren't able to hold on the advantage, and firmly push onto the advantage. So it's just a matter of time that E7's gonna win this round and avoid a very early match point. So, we'll be now going to Normandy, and hopefully this marks the start of E7's comeback, because if E7 aren't able to come back from this scoreline, this is gonna be pretty tough for them to come back as well, because right now Cat is leading 3-1, and things are not looking good for E7 still, because they only barely just won, because Cats didn't have the mobility set to counter E7's double medium. So still, the issues still persist on E7's medium. And if Cats are able to sort of hold on in terms of the medium fights against E7 and even win those fights, E7 is gonna be deemed to have a really tough situation in front of them to be fighting with, because it doesn't seem like they're able to win most of these even number situations when it comes to medium side fights. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough for E7 to fight back if they are using equal number of mediums, which it seems like they are doing at the moment. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough fight for the E7 mediums, and they have to know when to play the fights properly as well, because if they don't, this round is gonna also go into Cat's favor, and you would see the mediums from E7 getting dropped pretty early on into either low health or even getting taken out very early on. So the first minute or two is gonna be the key for E7 to make sure that mediums don't go down too early or don't get bled too early, because that is gonna be cementing the entire round, at least determining how the remainder of the round's gonna go out. So yeah, let's see how E7's mediums are gonna be playing this early round. So Vicar is sort of playing a bit dangerously. He's got to risk a bit of his hit points for some information, which I feel like it's alright if you're just collecting them in early game. But the cap points gonna be slightly in Cat's favor, as Vickers is set to is gonna sit into the bunker behind A. Doesn't seem like Cat is gonna be pursuing any further hit point or cap point advantage, as they have quite a bit of hit point and cap point advantage to begin with. So they're pretty happy to sit with what they have so far, and it's up to E7 to sort of push the advantage, push to get some advantage in their side. And yeah, we just gotta wait this out, I guess. It seems like Cat is contesting A, but doesn't seem like the Vickers is able to stop it, because there's gotta be hills to stop the Vickers from actually getting much of a reset onto the T22. So the cap advantage is gonna be in much more favor of Cat, and E7 will have to make a push as well as exactly as what they're doing right now. But then it seems like their entire team is committed to the cause just yet, so the main force is now pushing in, but they're also bleeding a bit here and there. Nagi's in the ice force is gonna get dropped down very quickly if he's gonna continue to bleed. So he does indeed get dropped. And then it seems like Cat's gonna lose their tank very soon. It's gonna be a bit later, but not before E7 lose their second tank right after. So this fight is going in the favor of Cat very quickly, and it's gonna descend into just a pure brawl right here. And E7's gonna be in a tank disadvantage situation continuously, and the situation is getting worse by the second as Cat looks to cement even further tank advantage, and the cap is still taking up So this is really, without a doubt, it's gonna be a Cats round by the second. So Cats is gonna be on match point very soon. As they have such so much of a advantage on their side at this stage. This is gonna be a 4-1 so far. And yeah, match point for Cats. So, match point for Cats, and it's all down to whether E7 can hold on back, can come back, because right now E7 is in a very strong disadvantage of being in a 1-4 scoreline, and it doesn't seem like the medium is still winning much fights around the map, so it's a really tough situation for E7 to come back from, mainly due to how the scoreline is very in the disadvantage of their side, and how the mediums are constantly losing fight. Well, I wouldn't say that was a lost fight for mediums, but simply this time is the heavies losing the fight. So, regardless of how the battle went in, it seems like E7 is losing one fight, whether it be the medium fight or the heavies fight. So, we're going back to Normandy, but this could be the last game of the entire grand final, as Cats has set their sights into taking the win. And it all depends on whether E7 is able to respond in this matchup, because this will have to be a win if E7 wants to stay in this. If they aren't able to win this round, they're out. Cats will be taking the win. So, it seems like E7 is going very aggressively towards the AB side. They actually catches 140 off guard very quickly. It doesn't seem like Cats have any tank to be supporting him just yet. 140 is already getting dropped into 800 hit points, and he's gonna go down. He's gonna be the first time of Cats going down. So this is a good start for E7, as they're able to cement a one tank advantage very early on. But Cats seems to be already ready to make a counter, as their tank is already pushed over, and into the middle, and they also have the cap points as well. So if E7 aren't able to keep themselves being fluid and keep their tanks alive, 7 Rule actually took a lot of hits. It might actually be the first tank of E7 to go down very already, and indeed he goes down. But right now it's a even trade, and it doesn't seem like Cats are stopping this focus fire anytime soon. And it's all down to where E7 are able to focus fire quickly, because e7 will actually lose another Crown Wagon if they are not be careful. It's gonna probably be a 1-1 trade. But the hit points are neck and neck. Cap points are an advantage of cats. So they gotta take the Crown Wagon very, very soon. They took the Crown Wagon down. And it doesn't seem like e7 are farming them very effectively, as it's only very little fire going into the e5, even though he now goes down. But yeah, it's gonna be a 3-4 trade in the favor of e7. e5 and t22 pushing down to the Vickers. Doesn't seem like they're able to take down the Vickers just yet, as the Vickers escaped in half hit point. t22 will actually go down, as he's now getting pushed by e5. He does indeed go down. Vickers will also go down to the unfolding. He does go down as well. So now a 3 versus 2. This could still go either way if e7 don't play this correctly. But as the courier e5 goes down, this might actually be e7's second round in this game. But it's still gonna be match point for cats. So this is gonna be very, very tough for e7 to come back. So yeah, now the scoreline is gonna be 4-2. So we're now going into Vineyards, and if e7s are able to come back in the next 2 rounds, it's gonna go to a tiebreaker in Castilla. As it sounds right now, if e7 aren't able to secure an early advantage, it's gonna be pretty tough for them from here on in. As both teams are playing, well, e7 playing one more medium, this might actually go in the favor of e7. But either way, cats would have to respond very quickly. We're able to respond very quickly onto e7's gameplay. So, as we step into Vineyard, Vineyard is match point for cats, and E7 still got 3 points until they take over the series. So, it all down to whether E7 can handle their early fights and not lose advantages too much, not lose too much early game. As it seems like most of the time, if they lose too much hit points or too much tank, like losing one tank early on would basically kill their chances of even having a say in this round. So they're not trying to closely contest B cap, whereas Cat's A cap, but it seems like Cat's gonna get A cap before E7 gets B cap. Though I believe they're actually able to take some hit points off the Vickers, and it seemed like that was the case. And Vickers now being left very, very low. And this might actually still go Cat's E7's way if they play correctly from here. Because there's like 2k hit point advantage in the favor of E7, and it doesn't seem like E7. Cat knows that there's a Vickers right here. Now they know, but at what cost though? As we see, Cats continue to drop hit points. By the second, well, the blood has stopped quite a bit. Well, the blood has stopped for now. But it doesn't seem like the advantage is going to go back to Cats anytime soon, as everybody's stuck into very, very defensive positionings, as they already have a slight cap advantage. The trades still come in a bit here and there, but if equal trades continue, it's going to be in E7's favor. So yeah, it all depends on what Cats is going to be responding with. But with a crippled Vickers, it doesn't seem like there's much option for Cats, as there's only that much they can really do with a crippled Vickers. And I would say half crippled Crown Wagon and half crippled E5. Though E7 is now contesting C, and yeah, because of crippled mobility of Cats, doesn't seem like they're able to respond in time at all. So E7 should have the cap advantage very, very soon. Now Herbie's gotta be careful because he's very low as a Vickers, and if he gets spotted, he's gonna get really, really quickly deleted out of the game. So he's not playing with fire, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna stop this anytime soon. But as the cap point keeps taking on to E7's favor, Cats will have to do something very, very soon. Though E7 has really nothing for Cats to play with. So really, Cats have nothing to push into, and they're still dropping hit points. So right now, there's 4k hit points in the advantage of E7. So Cats have to make a really, really quick push and strong push, otherwise they'll lose this match, lose this round. And it'll be one step closer for Cats to come back for. So Cats is pushing into town, but E7, Cats already dropped their E5 before Vickers being dropped. So this might actually be the confidence, the window that E7 needs to come back into this matchup, as they seal to finish this Vineyard's round in the perfect fashion. It's gonna be 4-3, still match point for Cats, but closer for E7 to come back. So we're going back to Vineyard, spawn swapped. Still cap points for cats, though E7's getting close to taking this to a tiebreaker if they win this round. So in the next 2 rounds we'll be able to decide who is going to win this matchup of the grand finals, though E7's slowly climbing back. And it all depends on whether cats can stop this comeback or not. It seems like cats is going to get B cap before E7 get A, so cap point is once again in the favor of cats. Then it seemed like the E7's already postured towards getting C cap, so cap points might still go in the favor of E7 if they're able to cap C successfully without losing too much hit points. No, now E7 now capping pretty safely. Cat shouldn't be able to reset unless the E5 is the time that's getting reset. But either way, E7 now should have a very firm cap advantage, and though Cat is now contesting A as well, and that would pretty much shut the back door of E7. Basically, the chances of them of resetting A and actually getting the cap advantage. So now the cap advantage would go back to Cat's favor. It's all down to E7 trying to make a counter push, either back into A, or actually could be anywhere, to be honest. Because right now, even though they don't have the caps, they're sort of posturing to want to go back to push back their spawn. So it all depends on whether cats are giving anything for E7 to work with. Doesn't seem like they're giving much for E7 to work with, though the hit points are now in the favor of E7, so there's still some chance that E7 are able to take this back if they're able to sort of look after the hit points very carefully and not let too much hit points go in the favor of the cats. So it seems like E7 is already making sort of a move into this, but time is ticking. So E7 really want to make the push right now, as exactly what they're doing. I would argue it's actually already a bit too late. So they want to get A first and also slow down what Cats gonna get from their cap point. They bled our line quite a bit. That's a good thing, but they really just want to bleed even more out of Cats, because right now Cats might actually be able to turn this around if the T-22s are left unpunished. Though Cat's T-22 seems like they're pushing into their own death. So even though it's gonna be sort of like a fair trade in this situation, it doesn't seem like Cat is gonna survive this for long, as they're still dropping tanks and the mobility aren't able to contribute to. So now Cat points is now still in the favor of Cat, but it's not gonna be long before E7 takes back the lead. So the focus fire, it should be in E7's favor without much issue. So we will focus fire onto the E5s together. They would have this round, and they would take it to a tiebreaker. They're 75 cap points away, and taking this tank would make them closer. 20, 30. Just right now, all E7 needs to do is to stay alive, and yeah, they do that, and they won this round. So now it's a tiebreaker. How exciting, man! So the tiebreaker is gonna be Castilla, and whoever wins this round would win the entire match. It would win the grand final, and take the win in the ABC tournament. So it's gonna be either E7, Nuggies for us, Nuggies for me, or Cats. top 9. So both teams would have to be very careful on what they decide to take, because if they mess up, it's really gonna be painful, as they fight this hard to bring it into a tiebreaker, whether it be Cats going 4-1 very early on, or E7 going to mount the comeback from that score point, from a 4-1 deficit. So both teams put a lot of effort trying to come back and try to reach match point. So, but right now there's only one team that can get away with it, and we'll know who will win this tournament in just a matter of a few minutes. So both teams are ready. We're only waiting for the streamers ready, and we'll go into match point, the final round of the tournament. It's A7 versus Cats in Castilla, best of 9, final round, tiebreaker. This will decide who will take the championship. And E7 is already posturing for heavy A-lean, while Cats is sending the Vickers to scout C to gather early information, while the rest of the team also going towards A and B side. So there might be an early advantage for E7 in the A side, depending on how the early game plays out. Though there's a hurry right here for Cats, so they might actually be ready for this play from E7 either way. So it's E7 taking quite a bit of flak damage at early game, and Cats is still fully intact, as the Crown Wagon also takes one hit. Vic is now being bled down to one shot. He's gonna get taken down very soon if he doesn't not careful about what he's doing. Cats is also taking C cap, which doesn't seem like E7's able to reset. So the advantage is gonna go in. Ooh. So Crown Wagon is able to reset the cap from Cats. So the cap are punished by not going to E7's, by not going to Cat's field just yet, but with this cap, with the Vickers, surely it will. So E7 is now in a very tough position, where they're in a very disadvantaged position where they bled quite a lot early game, and they also don't have the caps. So right now it seems that E7 doesn't really know what they should be doing. It was in response to Cat's heavy advantage. And if they don't really do anything, well, unique or special here, it's gonna be Cats that takes the win. And it's gonna be sad because they worked pretty hard for the comeback. But it seems like they're posturing for a C play, and E7 and Cats is already ready to sort of punish this. The Vic is spotting basically everything. Though Nuggies in the E5 slipped the net, so E7 Cats might not be ready for this happening. Now that you got proxy spotted, but it might be a bit too late as though E7 is still bleeding a bit by bit. So this might still go into Cat's favor if things all goes out as it is. So E7 finally caps C, but they're in a very heavy tank disadvantage. Very heavy cap on disadvantage, and virtually they have a one tank disadvantage as the Vickers is basically incapable of fighting for now. So Cats is still pretty content to just sit back and wait for E7 to make a move. So there's now 4k hit point in favor of Cats, and E7 I think E7 needs to do something soon enough, otherwise this match is gonna go into Cats. So they're slightly bleed, so that's a good start. So I'm guessing that they find their first target of bleeding, but with Eyeline hiding behind cover, it's gonna be proving to be very difficult for him to be bled any further than this. Oh no, that's actually, I actually said it too soon. He's actually still getting bled. He's now a 2-shot like the Vickers, though the hit point advantage is still very big for E7. Disadvantage as in, so it's really Cat's game to lose right now. If they don't be careful, they may actually lose the Cat advantage as well. Yeah, this is actually going to be very tight, as E7 is actually postured to take all 3 caps together. So it's all down to Cats whether they're prepared to sort of do any counter, as E7s are pretty low here and there. But it's also a matter whether E7 are able to take down the other flanks quick enough, because right now Cats are in a disadvantaged position because they're not being forced to make a move into pushing to C cap. So E7 needs to be quick with this flank of fight, otherwise they will lose the round. Seven Ruler shouldn't be hiding right now, she should be actively fighting. So now hit points is starting to tilt back into E7's favor. It's gonna be very even right now, even though cap point is actually going to be in favor of Cats or E7 very soon. It does seem like E7 is starting to pull this back with such a huge disadvantage at start. Right now, E7 is 100 or 80 points away from winning the match. If E7 are able to get hold of their tanks alive, oh, E7 wins. At times runs out. E7 has the cap point advantage, and yeah, that was Cats dropping the ball massively there. With, as you can see, the Vickers Light doing 0 damage and still being a win. That was a really tough comeback from the early advantage. Cats basically threw the advantage they have because it was a freaking hit point advantage for cats. It was map control advantage for cats. It was cap point advantage for cats. Cats had all the advantage they could ever imagine, and they threw it away. There's no other way I can put this. It was basically E7 grinding their way back from a massive disadvantage that you can't possibly come back if it was a proper matchup. Like no teams would give up such massive advantage. So yeah, congratulations E7. They came back from a 4-1 scoreline. That was some massive heroics from last round. So yeah, that's it. E7 wins 5-4. It wouldn't be much of a I wouldn't say as much of a. I feel like Cats lost the game the moment they gave up so much ground onto Seaside without actually constantly monitoring what was happening onto Seacap. Like whatever the vehicle was doing was not enough. They were. It was only collecting information, and even then, E7 slipped the net and went in super close, and then Island started bleeding in the IS4, and that was the window that E7 needed to come back. And even though they had E7 one tank that wasn't able to fight, the entire matchup turned on its head when Cats led very much in the later stage of the game compared to E7. So E7 getting 3 caps and then getting hit point advantage, that basically sealed the fate because there was no way that E7 is going to lose that advantage after they knew how hard they're going to be fighting for it. So GG to E7, it was a lot of things to be fighting for in order to have to fight back for the advantage. But it's also catastrophic at ball massively, as even though they had to set up, they weren't able to hold on to advantage, and basically dropping the ball later game, and it was a massive ball to drop as well, because that basically meant E7 came back all the way from a 4-1 scoreline, and yeah, it's heartbreaking for Cats to see that happening. As I felt like Cats actually was on track to almost take that game. To be honest, if it wasn't for them dropping the ball massively for the last 4 rounds. So yeah, congrats to the E7. Congratulations for Cats. But it's Cats that wins. It's Cats that loses the round, and it's E7 that takes the crown. So thanks for tuning in, guys. It's I guess it's a shame that until the end I wasn't able to have a proper gameplay. But either way, it was a pleasure to stream these matches. It was pretty close games here and there. Both teams dropped the ball here a bit as well. So, but yeah, like, it was a good match to see happening, and yeah, hopefully there were more chances for me to stream future tournaments. As always, take care, guys, and I'll catch you guys in next stream, if there's any stream.